Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome into this week's edition of Bullring Breakdown. This week, race recap for August 16th. I do want to remind everybody to please like and subscribe on the YouTube page, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Woodhall Raceway on Facebook, and Woodhall Raceway 64 on TikTok. So as I am each and every race week recap, I am joined by General Manager Terry Pierce. Terry, how we doing today?
I'm doing great. How about yourself, Joe?
I feel like you're lying to me, but that's good.
I am. I'm actually dying. I'm not sure if it was the cold weather on Saturday night or what, but I got up on Sunday and I've got a terrible head cold. Oh,
Yeah, it
yeah.
happens to the best of us. I appreciate you fighting with me.
I know it. I know it. Not a problem.
So August 16th. Yeah, so if this week's a little bit shorter of a show, we're gonna try to buzz through here quickly so Terry can get to bed. Um,
You're all right. You're all right.
this past weekend that was brought to you by Bradley Supply, located in Hornell. Like I said on the during the show, I do a lot of work for that or work with them. They build a lot of my bumpers and my cage material for my derby cars. So that's a sponsor that I actually use, so I can't really say enough good things about them. So yeah, they sponsored the night. I don't think quad C's were off, so all four cylinders, Wicked T quad C's and Wicked T Warriors, they were off because we had the IMCA's in the house. Did I miss anything before the races, or is that pretty much all?
Oh, that's pretty much it.
Mhm. All right, well
Oh,
then.
it was a beautiful night. We had the simulators there. That was pretty cool.
Oh yes, I do want to thank them too. Um, oh boy, I can't even remember the name of them now. But
Was it fast time or something?
yeah, Fast Time Racing or something. But
Yeah.
I'll tell you, it was really cool, and I'll tell you another thing. It's very hard. I don't know if driving a race car is anywhere near as hard as that is. Um, I uh I owe a lot of people an apology because boy, I had a tough time even staying on the racetrack, let alone going fast.
Well, I'll tell you, I got to be honest with you, Joe. I think you actually did better than I did. So I'm not gonna pick on you about it. I do know that I believe wasn't it Aiden Grover had the fast time of the night on the thing, and I sat there and watched him when he did it, and I'll tell you what, he did pretty well at it. So
Well, I wouldn't expect any different, really.
no, a lot of these young kids, I think they play this game at home, so they're a little more practiced up than we are. But
Right. I tell you one thing, I'm glad that I got to do it before anybody got there, before Kyle Leach was able to see it, because I don't think he'd let me hot lap his race car anymore if he saw what I was doing there.
right, I know it. Yep, absolutely.
And that is Lap Time Racing. So yeah, Lap Time Racing. That's the company that was there with us. Um,
And they are going to be back again next week, I believe, right?
oh, are they?
I do believe they're coming back next weekend. And
Okay.
I heard that maybe next weekend when they come back, they may be giving away some prizes for fast times. So
Really? So I better go sharpen up. If anybody's got a simulator, let me know. I got to go sharpen up so I can win some prizes.
there you go. That's what I got to do. I'm going to have to practice. Yep. I
Uh,
think even well, I don't want to say this in a bad way, but Joe Wilcox beat me. So I've definitely got to practice so I can go back and I got to compete against Joe again.
well, hold on now. I'm not gonna let Joe get away with this. Did you do it on the automatic or the manual?
I did the manual. Yep, you're
Yeah,
right.
me
You're
too.
right.
Me too. So
Yeah.
I'm not gonna
Yep.
let Joe get away with that.
Right, right. Joe did sneak around us and jump on the automatic, and which, by the looks of things, was way easier, right?
I
Yeah,
don't know. I think it was all hard. Just one less thing you got to deal with, I guess.
you're right. It was. Yep, absolutely.
So anyway, yeah, that was a lot of fun. We thank them for coming, and I hope they do come back this week. That was a lot of fun. I'd like to try it again. Um,
Definitely. Yep.
so if you're ready, we can move on into the heat races. I got everything
Sure.
on paper this week instead of written down because we had well, both the babysitters were a little busy and we were trying to watch a baby in the middle of trying to do this. So I don't have
All right.
everything neatly written down the way that I usually do.
Right. There you go.
So in Insignia Performance Modified Heats, they were won by Dayton Brewer, Russell Morseman, and Jason Andrews. Um, Really the only one that I do want to touch on there is Jason Andrews. That's a guy that makes a heck of a haul. I think he said 2.5 hours each week. And
Yep.
nice to see him pick up a heat race win. I believe it's his first this year. So that's a team moving in the
right.
right direction.
And I'll tell you, he's such a great guy. I don't
He
know
is.
if anybody has a chance walking through the pits and you can stop into his hall and just talk to him for a little bit. The guy, he's the nicest guy you'll ever meet. He really
He is.
is.
I don't think he had a bad word to say about anybody. So,
No, absolutely not. Nope, nope. He's always smiling, always having fun. Yep,
right. So then we moved on to the Southern Tier Customs Rush Crate late models. One heat for them. Steve LeBaron, he started sixth. He picked up the heat race win, which I guess I didn't really realize that. I guess I didn't realize that he started sixth in the heat.
he did. Yep. And
Yeah,
it's been this way like every week. It's either him or Brett, whoever starts in front of the other. But he actually did pass Brett in the heat. So
that's
uh,
right.
Brett, Brett was having a little problems getting around the corner. The car wasn't quite hooked up in the heat, and he got a little. He washed out just enough to let Steve get through there. So
Absolutely. Um, and we had the IMCAs with us, like I said. Earl Zimmer, Jacob McConnell, they picked up the heat race wins. Um, I tell you one thing, I thought Jacob McConnell had that thing figured out. When he put that thing on the high side, he just drove around everybody. And I
yep,
thought that was for things to come in the feature. And we'll get to that a little bit later on. But
right, yep,
that car was fast, and Earl, Earl comes here and he's fast. He already would have a feature win if the drive shaft didn't let go on him.
yeah, right, yep.
So he picked up the heat race win as well. Then we moved on to the hometown excavation crate sportsman. Isabel Brown. I'm gonna mess up her name at least once. So Terry, if you notice it, correct me.
I hear you.
Because
I'm
I
right
will.
along with you. I'm right along with you.
So she won the first heat race, and Braylon Lawson won the second heat race. Nice to have Isabel back with us. I think they took some time off. She got married last weekend, I believe. Um,
Yep,
so I would assume took some time off to focus on that stuff. So nice to have her back with us too.
right, yep.
Joe Wilcox Performance Automatic Street Stocks, Brian Butler, Bradley Morshman, and yeah.
I'll tell you, Brian Butler seems to really be getting that car figured out. It's been looking really fast, super fast for the last couple of weeks. So
I know. Don't tell him that though.
I know, I know.
I am starting to get worried that we're not going to be able to get him on the race car. Pretty
Right,
soon he's
right.
not going to be able to get in the truck.
I hear you. Yep.
And then Bradley Morshman, that was his I guess he came back with the street stock last week. He drove a Crate Sportsman this week, brought back the street stock. So not exactly sure if he's just kind of planning on doing whatever he feels like that night or, whatever.
Right.
But
Mm-hmm.
hobby stocks, I think these are the final group of heats, right? Hobby stocks.
Yeah.
Dylan
Yep.
Phillip and Brandon Conklin, they won the heat races, and that's I they're top two in points. They were top two in points last year. They're the
Right.
they're the ones to beat, really. They're
They are.
not
Yep.
much to say about that, really.
Right.
Then we moved into intermission. Isabel was the junior fan. Seems like Dan Gardner gets his race car on the front stretch every week during intermission, whether it
Yep.
be the hard luck driver of the week or the junior fan. But that's
Right.
fine because Dan's always nice to see down there. So,
Oh yeah. Yep.
um, Southern Tier Customs driver of the week, that was Brian Butler. And then the Woodhall flagger, that was Michael Watson. He threw out the flag for the Street Sox. If you're mad about the post, no post on Facebook, Watson family, you can get a hold of our head flagger because he forgot to take a picture.
Uh-oh.
So I got
Uh-oh.
nothing. And our photographer, she can't do it because she's down taking pictures of the racetrack. So
Right. Yep.
or if you hear this and you want to send me one, I'll be happy to put it up there. So.
There you go. There you go.
That works too. I'll kind of pass the buck on somebody.
Right.
Uh, really, anything about intermission, really, or that? I mean, it was pretty
No,
standard.
yep.
You
It was
know,
actually a pretty quiet night, pretty clean. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, it was a great night. We'll get more into that about the good night as we get
Yeah.
on. Um, so Insinger Performance Modifieds, they were the first feature of the night. There was a caution early on, and I think I've got it written down caution on lap one, and then after that it went green to checkered. So
Right. Hmm.
one caution, 25 laps. That's good. Um, you know, Jason Andrews, he led a first lap. Then Ron Cartwright Jr. was able to get by him on that restart. And then on lap six, Jake Ginn, who started fifth, drove by all of them. And he led the rest of the way. There was nobody that was going to touch him. I think he had a 4 second advantage by the end of the race.
Yeah, yep,
So
definitely. He had that car hooked up, and he was checking out with it.
yeah.
So
And that you know what? That's a run too that they really needed because
yep,
Stacy Jackson won the beginning of the year. That's out of the Kim and Brad Harrington team. Stacy Jackson won, I think, the first week, and then they've had nothing but miserable luck all year between motor
right.
problems and breaking cars and just so
Yep, yep.
I'm sure they were happy to finally be back in victory lane.
Right. Yes, absolutely.
So
And I'll tell you. Well, go ahead. I'm sorry, Joe. Go ahead.
Ron Cartwright Jr. finished second. Third was Jason Andrews. Fourth was Brian Doolittle. Fifth was Donnie Lawson. So there's your top five. Now you go ahead, Terry.
Yeah, I was just going to say there was some real hard luck for a couple of them. Dayton Brewer, had blew a motor up, I believe, right off. What was he? Right off the bat, I believe, wasn't too far into it, and that's going to hurt him. He was right up there in points. I believe he was a points leader, wasn't he, going in?
I think him and Aiden Grover were tied.
Okay, so they were tied going in, so that's a pretty big blow for him. Brady Foltz also, he was right there in the points, and he took a big blow too, finished 14th. So yeah, that's a couple hard hits for some of our top guys. These motors are they're having trouble with these motors getting that time of the year. The motors are getting wore down, must be, and
They're
they're
getting
just having a
tired.
hard time keeping them together. Yeah, yep,
Yeah, I tell you one guy, Bill Dominic's got to be kind of licking his chops. I would imagine if you talk to him, he probably never wants to see a team lose a motor or something like that. But
yeah, right,
he's
absolutely. And again, Russell Morseman, same way. He was way back there, and all of a sudden, bam, he's headed to the front now too. So,
right.
um, he wasn't even a contender 2 weeks ago, or I mean, he was, but he was back there a ways, and now all of a sudden, bam, he's going to jump right up there. So,
Yeah, now it's opening right up for him. So.
yeah, yep.
Colton Coots, I believe he finished 10th. I believe that's his first ever finish or start in a modified. He looked good out there, He didn't. He
Yeah, he
looked
did.
good.
Yep, absolutely did. Yep,
Larry Keegan, Walsh Sherati, nice to have both of them back with us, and Ken Titus as well. Ken Titus, him
yeah,
and Todd, pretty much if Afton's not running, they're gonna come to Woodhall. That seems to be
right.
that's pretty much what they do anyway. It seems so.
Yep.
Nice to have them with us. So yeah, that does it for the Insinger Performance Modifieds. You can tell Terry's not feeling good because he's got a water and not a Miller Lite.
Yeah, yes, for sure. Yeah, keeping hydrated today.
So then we can move on to the Southern Tier Customs Rush Crate Late models. And once again, this thing went green to checkered, and Steve LeBaron, I don't know. I went down on the flag stand, and if you got kids that listen to this, put it over their ears. But I went down to the flag stand and I looked up at Corky Grant and I go, you know what that feature was? He goes, what was that? I said, belts to ass. That's what that feature was.
Yep.
Because he started on the pole and he just drove away. He ran away and hid and it stayed green and there was, you know, Brett took a
Yep.
little bit of time to get through the thing. I don't personally I don't think he really had much for Steve anyway. But you
Right,
never
right.
know.
Yep, yep. Never know. I mean, it was good to see Brian Knowles back too again this
Hmm.
week. So great to
Yeah,
have
so
him back.
Steve LeBaron, he picked up the win. Brett Marlatt second. Brian Knowles is third. Fourth was Ricky Laux, and fifth was Marshall O'Brien. How come? Hmm. I thought when I was writing the story, the I'm pretty sure the timing had Tony Kelly's name in there, but
There was a mix-up. Somebody said, but it
okay.
was Brian Knowles driving the car. I seen him. I
Yeah.
seen him driving it when he come across the scales. But
Well,
yeah, I don't know why.
Brian and Tony, they're pretty easy to tell apart.
Yeah, definitely. Yep. And that
No,
would be
no, no,
Brian's. That
no,
would be car owner and driver right
yeah,
there.
yeah.
So
No offense to either one of them.
you're right. Yep.
So yeah, just not much to say there. Those two are always the class of the field, and Steve LeBaron just that car has been a rocket ship the past few weeks. So
You're right.
then we had the IMCA's. That's way down at the bottom, of course. IMCA modifieds. There's a caution on lap four. a caution on lap 12. Um, Pretty much, I thought Jake McConnell was going to drive to the front using that high groove, and then I think he missed it a couple of times. That ended up costing him.
Right.
Um, I think Aaron Benjamin he led at the beginning of the race, but then that the Earl Zimmer machine was just I think it was the best car there this evening or that Saturday evening,
Yep.
and he got out front, and nothing was going to touch him until the rear end broke on him.
That's right. Yep.
Now, how he kept that car going, I have no idea how he did it. You would
Me
watch
neither.
that car looked funky. He even said it in victory lane. He's got something weird going on in the rear end.
Yep.
I didn't
You could
expect him to do it, but he did
you
it.
could see him going into turn three. You could see the whole rear end chucking back and forth, and then coming out of four down the front straightaway, it would twist just enough that the tire was rubbing against the frame and creating all kinds of tire smoke going down. And there was a time there when I called the tower and said, "Do you guys think we should say something to him and get him off the track?" And but it didn't seem to get any worse. It stayed right there, and he was able to handle it. So we decided to let him go and see what it did, and good for him.
I
Yep.
tell you, I don't think he would have pulled off, but I guess you
Right.
never know.
Yeah. Right.
Um, like I said before, the track owed him one, and then it almost took another one away.
Yep.
He pretty much had a feature win all locked up earlier this year, and then he blew a drive shaft. And then it looked like he had this one all locked up, and then he blew a rear end in it. And Tyler Belcher, he finished in second. He almost made him pay. He was coming.
Yep.
Um,
He was. Absolutely was.
Jacob Ingham, he finished third. He started 10th. Jay McConnell finished fourth, and Keith Lamphere, he finished fifth. So Jacob Ingham gonna hold on to that point lead by a couple of points. But
I think there was only like just two cautions in that whole race too, wasn't there?
yep, lap four
I
and lap
believe.
12.
So yeah, absolutely, very good race. So it's
Yep,
good to see
that's
these
that.
guys starting to get a little bit of experience around Woodhall, and it's starting to show a little bit.
Yep, that
Racing's
was
getting better and better.
three cautions and three features.
Yeah.
That's what
Yep.
you like to see.
Oh yeah.
All right, then we moved on to the hometown excavation crate sportsman. Isabel Brown, she started second, and she showed no rust. Drove away, won the heat, won the feature. Part of me wonders, I think Kenny Peoples, he finished second, had faster lap times. Um, but I think I told you this, it sometimes it's easier to have a faster lap time, but harder to get around somebody.
Yep.
So even if they bunched up, I don't know.
Right.
There's no telling what would have happened. I think this race might have went green to checkered.
Yeah, I believe it
I'm not-
did. Yep. I believe it did. And I'll tell you at the end, Kenny was he was definitely he was coming up through there. He was catching her. He was definitely fast. He just ran out of time.
Mhm.
Simple as that. So
Right. Yeah. I know he probably had to have been praying for a caution and
yep.
probably from where he's sitting, how many of these races he's been leading and there's been like 10 cautions.
Right, right. Yep, absolutely. Yep.
But
Yep.
and I'll say though, not to take anything away from Isabel, they I think they came out and they won the first weekend. They haven't raced since. That's a lot of
Right.
time off for the driver, for the crew, for just everybody, and to be able to hop back in it and be fast right out of the gate, it's gotta feel pretty good. I don't know what her plans are for the rest of the year, but
Yeah, I'm not sure on that either. Nope.
so she picked up her second win of the year. Kenny Peoples Jr. second, Todd Titus was third, fourth was Brian Lawson, and fifth was Tim Guild. Um, looking through, it was nice to see Dale Welty back with us. And
Yes, it was. Yep.
Kyle Leach, he got that thing back together. It looked like Frankenstein out there with a couple different body panels, but
Yep.
you know what? He got it together. So
He
that
did. Yep.
that's hard work and dedication right there. Because I did not think there was a chance in hell that car would be back out on the racetrack this year.
Right, right. Yep.
And then another one I do want to touch on is Colin White. He finally got that thing to go for him. I think for most of the year, Colin's been coming in every week running it in hot laps, and then it would almost overheat. So then he would
Yep.
leave it for the rest of the night. And tonight he finally was able to get some laps on him. So that must have
Right.
been a good feeling for him to finally fix that problem and be able to get going. Um,
Right. It was. Yep.
and I think it's his first year in a race car.
Yes, it
So
is. Yep.
so that's a miserable start to your career.
Right. Yep.
So nice to see him finally get some green flag laps under him. Joe Wilcox Performance Automatic Street Stocks were next. I don't know. Glenn Reitner shows up and it's racing for second. I don't know. He's been here 4 times, well, 5 times. One time he didn't run the feature, and the other 4 times he's won. So I don't know.
Right.
Um,
It was a tough race. Them guys just couldn't get it together on Saturday night. I don't even. Do you have the number of cautions that we had there? It
no,
was
what happens is after a while, so
yeah.
I'll write them down as they go, but then after a while I'll just put caution filled.
Yep. Absolutely. Yep. And it
'Cause I
definitely was. That's for sure.
no, I can't remember if there was there a lot of cautions, or did it just it's because sometimes it just seemed like we were under caution for a while.
No, I don't know. I think there was a lot of cautions. I mean, there was, yeah, the guys just couldn't get it together. And again, one of we found a weight on the track that fell off a race car. We still have not had anybody step up to claim that weight yet. We're trying to figure out who it was, and there was no name or car number on the weight. And yeah, so we're still looking for that. If anybody lost weight, make sure you guys step up. If you want it back, step up and let us know who you are.
Yeah, or else I'm gonna keep it.
There you go. Yep.
Uh, that's what we're gonna have to put it on Glenn's car to weigh him down.
Right. There you go.
I should say that. I shouldn't say that. But it's just a joke.
Yeah.
So Glenn Reitner, he picks up his fourth win of the year. Brian Butler, uh, just ever consistent. He picked up his second, or he finished second. Teddy Morseman finished third. Dan Gardner finished fourth. Adam Lubner was fifth. Back-to-back weeks for Adam Lubner, I think, right?
Right. I think so. Yep. That's pretty good for him. That his first year in the street stock up there, and he's finally starting to put it together a little bit. So
Mm-hmm. Um, I don't know. What do I want to
it
touch
was a
on?
terrible night. It was a terrible night for McSeely. Poor McSeely lost a rear tire in the heat, and it broke right off. And they went in, they fixed it. He come out in the feature, and the same wheel fell off again. So it was a tough night for McSeely. He's been struggling all year as it is, and that definitely didn't help the other night.
Yeah, and I think I saw on Facebook that he had a broken rear end, which does make sense. That's probably
Oh,
what did
right.
it. I would imagine that once you get one broke, then you got, or once you
Yep.
get the rear end broke, it must have just been searing something off there. Once again, anybody will tell you I don't know nothing about these race cars, so but that would just
Right.
be,
No, me neither.
for to have well, let's see here, right here. Heat race broke the hub, changed the hub for the feature, and same thing happened. Left rear broke.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That
It's
sucks
just
for
been an
him.
absolutely miserable year for Mick. He
Yeah, it's
tries and
been
tries and tries, and he just can't seem to catch a break.
right. One guy I do want to touch on that I don't know how long it's been since he's been to Woodhull. I know it's been a long time. Um,
Right.
Sparky Hills came and raced with us. I believe he's 90 years young.
Yep.
Terry,
91.
91.
91, I believe somebody said. Yep.
Terry, if you told me that I could get into a race car at 91 years old, I'd be happier than a pig.
I hear you. I hear you.
Because just
That's for sure.
just being able to hop in them.
Right. And that happens, and it happens quite often around. I don't know. I know you know this because I know I seen you there last night, but over at the Bath Fair at the Demolition Derby, there was a guy in the Demolition Derby who was like 80 some years old last night. So yeah, yeah,
I
some
don't
days
know
are
how they can do
done.
it. I so this morning I wasn't too bad because my heat had a lot of cars in it, so you're not
It
hitting
did.
people wide open.
Yep.
But I woke up and my back's a little tight today. I can't
I hear you.
imagine I can't imagine putting 50 years on me and seeing what I would feel like.
Right. Right. Yep. Absolutely.
I've been trying to get my dad into doing a derby with me, and he said he's too old and he's only 60, so
Right.
I couldn't imagine.
Yep.
But it was nice to see him back with us, and that's always so. I always enjoy picking up new cars and seeing different people. That's
Right.
what
Yep.
you want.
Right. For sure.
Um, All right, then we can move into the Lad Road Auto Hobby Stocks, final feature of the evening. There was a few cautions early on, but nothing, and then they kind of were able to go green. Caution came back out on lap 11, then lap 13, and then after that it stayed green. Joe Birdsell led this thing from start to finish. To everyone's surprise, I think he ran the middle groove the whole race.
Yeah, right.
Just kind of weird to see, but
It makes a difference when you're starting up front,
it does.
and you're out front. He doesn't have to run that high side and push his car, and he didn't. And
You know
it
what's funny? I think, what was it, last week or 2 weeks ago, he passed 47 cars and finished 16th. This week, he
right,
didn't pass one car and he finished first.
right, yeah. That's a great trivia question for you.
That is. That's the luck of the draw right there.
That's right. Yep, absolutely.
So Joe Birdsell, he picked up, oh boy, what is this? Number 4 for him.
Yep,
Scott Brown finished second, the ever consistent Scott Brown, like I said last week and the week before that, and the week before that, and the week before that. One of these weeks we're going to get on here and talk about how he got his first win in I don't even know how long.
right,
Jake
absolutely.
Jason Warner finished third. He's that's a guy who's really been picking it up lately. He
He has.
kind of had a
I
tough start to the year and now he's really picking it up with
Yep.
another
I say
podium
that
finish.
between them two right there, Scott Brown and Jason Warner, one of them is going to win a race here real soon coming up. So
Well, I think this next guy will too. Reese Hackett
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Reese is
finishing
in a new
fourth.
hot rod now, and he's been looking pretty good in that car. So yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely. Yep.
And then the Palm Pup, Cannon
Yeah.
Palmer. There's your top five. Um,
Yep.
he did finish in front of Mike. So whoever keeps score on the Palmer boys, that's where that is. So
Right. Yep. And of course, it was a really hard hit for our points leaders. Brandon Conklin finished
yes.
seventh, and Dylan Phillips 13th. Man, tough night for both of them guys. So
Yeah, that was I don't know. They they just they didn't have very good nights at all.
no,
I don't even really remember now 2 days later exactly what happened to them, but I remember them bouncing off a lot of stuff.
right? Hell yeah. I know they were both in the same wreck down in turns 3 and 4 at one point, and I believe that's where Dylan got some. Well, maybe it wasn't where he might have done it the next lap after that. Right there in turn 4, he hit a U tire down there, got tangled up with somebody, and that might be where he broke the rear end in that car, I believe,
Okay. And
or
actually
trailing trailing arm or something. Yeah,
I lied to you, Terry.
yeah.
I said Joe Birdsell led the whole race.
Oh
Remember
yeah.
when that green flag dropped? I thought Brian Austin was going to get it done.
Oh, that's right. You're right.
I can't
Absolutely.
I can't remember what happened to him, but he led the first handful of laps and he looked. I
Yep.
thought this was the week Brian Austin got was going to get it done.
Yep. You're right.
So
You're right. Now that you say that.
I apologize to him. I was wrong.
Yep.
But I can't remember everything, especially 2 days later.
I hear you.
Well, yeah, that was done by the night, and it was a good night. Good night. We were out of there early, um, which that's kind of what everybody wants, right? I mean,
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
trying to find the exact time that we were done.
It was somewhere right around 10:30
10:24.
and 24.
10:24 we were out of there. So, you came to Woodhall, you watched 6 feature events. And you know what? And we probably had a little bit of a little lengthier of an intermission too.
Right. Yep.
So that, that hey, what more can you want? Um, the track crew did their part, the tow truck crew did their part, drivers did their part. Um, that's the best we could do, right? I mean,
Yeah,
10,
that's right. Absolutely.
six classes and 10:24. I mean, you're not getting that very many other places.
Right. No, you're
And
not.
truthfully,
Definitely not.
that's a hard standard to keep us to as well.
But again, that's a hats off to the drivers there. The first 3 or 4
Absolutely.
classes were all caution free or one caution each. Them guys, they're getting it figured out and they're getting it done. So it's a hats off to them. I mean, obviously they shorten the night up a lot when we don't have to sit there and keep going yellow, every other lap. And thanks to them. So yes,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
Yeah, I've always said that, sometimes tracks get the raw end of the deal because they get told how late they get out. But then you have a night like this that proves that you can do it. sometimes drivers just don't always like to cooperate. And I'm not saying anything bad about drivers. I could never do it. You should have watched me on that simulator. I hit everything. I like to say the only thing I didn't hit was the pace car, and that was only because they had that option turned off. So I don't fault you guys at all. I'd hit everything, but
They should have turned more of them options off because I did see you that one time when I was watching you when I was taking the video. You came out of turn 10. You actually hit the concession stand.
I did.
That was-
Well, Terry, have you seen me? I was looking for a cheeseburger. Little
Well,
little did I know they don't have a Bobby Willis at Watkins Glen.
oh man, he's they're missing out then, that's for sure.
Absolutely. Every racetrack should have a Bobby.
That's right, absolutely. We get so many compliments. And he's the guy that runs our food shack. And weekly we get compliments on that guy. I mean, he does an amazing job over there.
That guy, I don't know what time he shows up. He's there before me every week, and I don't think he leaves until around midnight every week.
Yep,
And he's running the
he
whole night.
is. He is, absolutely is. But I think, again, I think, we can't talk him up too much because I think next week he's going to be off. So we're not going to have him next
Well,
week.
no, 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 no. This is good. So if you're at the concession stand and it's taking a little bit extra time next week, bear with us. That's why.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah,
you know
absolutely.
what?
Yep,
The everybody in there does the best job they can, but Bobby is he's one of a kind. So give him a
yep.
little bit of leeway next week because they're working a man down.
That's right. Absolutely.
All right. Well, that was the night. That was sponsored by Bradley Supply. Terry, you got anything else on the night? I don't like you
No, I
said.
don't really think so. I think like I said, it went pretty smooth. We got through the night. Yeah, I think all was good.
Yeah, it was great, and that's one thing I'll touch on too is that's what an IMCA race can look like. I've
Right.
heard it, and I know a lot of people that complain about the IMCA's and the cautions and the cautions and that's what an IMCA race can look like. They can
Yep.
put on a great show and don't let like you said they don't have a lot of laps on this track. Guys don't have a notebook. Don't hold them to a standard that you wouldn't hold the rest of the class to. So or the rest of
Right.
the
That's
classes
right.
to. So.
Absolutely. They're starting to, they're building that notebook. They're starting to get more and more notes every week, and it's showing. It's the class is doing very good. They're bringing a great car count. So yeah, absolutely.
Yep. All right, like I said, that was sponsored by Bradley Supply. Um, you need anything done, they'll help you out metal wise. I use them myself. I know Reese Hackett, Joe Birdsell. Joe Birdsell uses them and he bounces off everything. I don't think he'll
Right.
mind me telling you that. Joe Birdsell, Mike Palmer. So if you need that kind of work done, go give them a shout. They're good people. They'll help you out.
Yep.
All right. Well, I think we can move on to some points if you're ready then, Terry.
I'm ready.
All right. Wow, Insinger Performance Modifieds. Well, Aiden Grover has jumped out to an 8-point lead over Dayton Brewer. Brady Foltz is third, 12 points back. Russell Morseman is fourth, 21 points back. Carter Crooker drops to fifth, 24 points back. And you know what? Brian Doolittle six, 40 points back, but he's going to move into the top five because Carter Crooker probably is done for the year.
Right.
His motor expired and they're not to my knowledge, last I heard, they were done for the year. So Brian
Hmm.
Doolittle should be moving up into the top five here in the next coming weeks. So,
Right. Yep. Absolutely.
um,
Yeah, heck of a shakeup in the points battle for the
yeah,
modifieds. Geez, it's attrition is killing them right now. You
I
know.
think so. I think coming into this week, Aiden Grover, Dayton Brewer were tied. Brady Foltz was 4 points back, and Carter Crooker was 8 points back. And now Aiden Grover's 8 points up on Dayton Brewer. So,
Yeah. Mhm.
and you know what? I don't even know what's going to happen to Dayton Brewer. I think I know they hurt a motor. I'm not sure if they have another motor or what. I know last year they blew up a motor and then they drove Herbie Wright's backup car for the rest of the year. So
Right. Yep.
no
Yep.
telling what might happen out of the Dayton Brewer camp. But
Right. And I would, and that's going to be a hard luck for Dayton Brewer if Herbie doesn't let him drive the car because if you notice, Herbie Wright's car is just 4 points behind him. So, uh, that could be a determining factor in that too.
I don't know. I'm not sure if Herbie would do that, but
Yeah.
I would be more interested to see if that did happen and then Brady blew one up or something, exactly what they
Yeah,
would do then.
right.
But
Yep. And
so,
and again, Brady did have motor problems the other night. I believe he limped it off the track with one lap to go. So maybe they did have motor problem on Saturday night. Also, I'm not really sure on that.
right. Yeah. So yeah, that Aiden Grover's sitting pretty with an 8 point lead. He's looking for his first ever modified championship. Gosh, would this be his first championship?
Oh, I'm pretty sure it probably would be. Yep.
Boy, you imagine your first champion. How many guys can say their first championship was in a modified?
Right. Yep.
I can't imagine
Yep.
very many.
Right. No. No. Well,
Uh,
I think the only other class he's ever ran is Craig Sportsman, isn't it? I don't know that he ran anything else.
I
Maybe he
don't.
ran four cylinder. I don't know.
What about like go-karts?
Well, yeah, I know. I take that back. I guess he did run go karts. I do know that. But I don't know if he ran a four cylinder or not. I remember him going right into Craig Sportsman. So I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah, I can't remember. That would have been before I really started paying attention to who everybody was and
Right.
all that. So, yeah, so that's where you sit for the modifieds. Hometown Excavation Crate Sportsman. Kenny Peoples Jr. 33 point lead over Tim Guild. Third's Quentin Buchanan. He's 80 points back. Fourth is Glenn Trowbridge, 106 points back. Fifth is Jacob Trowbridge, 128 points back. I think there's only what, 3 races left
Yes.
for
Yep.
points. Um, I don't want to count him out, but Tim Gill's going to have a hard time closing that gap in 3 races.
Yeah, he definitely is going to. Yes, that's for sure. And
He's
it's tough because Tim has been running great all year. He really has. He showed a lot of power, and it's tough to beat Kenny Peoples. Kenny's, he's on his game right now. He's fast week in and week out. Yeah,
right. Yeah, that's just tough for Tim. He does everything he can, and that just seems like whatever he does, Kenny Peoples just always seems to be either one spot better, or one spot worse than him. So tough
yep,
to
right,
tough to close distance there. Um,
exactly, yep,
I guess that's pretty much. I mean, I think probably at this point, Quentin Buchanan is out of it. Unless he's probably going to finish third. Unless he stops showing up or unless he has terrible luck, and you
yep,
never know. But he's probably going to end up the year at third.
right.
Um, yeah. So that's your Crate Sportsman Rookie of the Year. Once again, I don't really think we have a rookie in the year in this
I
class
think it's
either.
got to be Colton Coots, I think, but
Is he a rookie?
I think he is, but not 100% sure.
Okay. Then I don't believe we have one of the modifieds, right? I should.
Um, Boy, I'm not really sure on that one either.
So would Jason Andrews qualify as a rookie?
I don't really know, to be honest with you.
Hmm.
I don't really
Because
know.
is it to be a rookie, do you just have to be at Woodhall?
I don't think so. I don't think he would. I'm guessing because he drove modified somewhere else. So I don't think he would be classified a rookie, but I guess that's something we need to look into, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I didn't really think about that, but yeah, so that's where they sit. Southern Tier Customs Rush Crate late models. Steve LeBaron's giving it hell. He currently sits 19 points back from Brett Marlatt, and I think he missed the first week.
He did. He
And
did. Yes.
he's just chopping away, chopping wood at that point lead that Brett's got.
Yep.
A few weeks ago it was 25 now, or last week it was 25, now it's 19. 3 races might be a little tough for him to beat that
Right.
gap, but I've seen weirder things happen, I guess.
Oh yeah. No, absolutely. It's definitely going to be a battle. He's going to need some good luck, and he's going to have to hope that Brett has some bad luck.
Right. Marshall O'Brien sits third, 73 points back. Fourth is Ricky Laux, 83 points back. And Joe Layfield's fifth, 120 points back. So probably the battle for third is probably the next one. Probably Steve and Brett are pretty solidified in your top two.
Yep.
And, Marshall O'Brien's got a 10 point lead there for third. Ricky could catch him easily. I mean, 10 points isn't too much.
Right.
And then Joe Layfield sits in fifth, 120 points back. running most of the year, not the entire year. Wyatt White, rookie of the year leader, right now
Yep.
sitting in sixth. Then we can go to the Lad Rodado Hobby Stocks, where your defending champion has a 40-point lead over Dylan Phillips. Scott Brown third, 50 points back. Fourth is Joe Birdsell, 73 points back. And fifth is rookie of the year contender, 123 points back, Reese Hackett. So Hackett's the leader for the rookie of the year.
Yep.
Cody Byler sits second in that race. He's going to have a tough time closing a 50-point gap over
Yeah,
Reese.
definitely. Yep, definitely. And again, here's a class that was tight two weeks ago. The
Mhm.
points were really tight on it, and just like that, they've opened up. It's just some guys have a little bad luck, other guys have luck goes in their way, and next thing you know, bam,
I'll
opened
I'll be
up.
honest with you. Dylan Phillip has just had a miserable month of July and August.
Yes, he has,
It,
absolutely
it's
has.
it's just been a miserable month for him. And then Brandon Conklin's picked up a couple of wins and a couple of seconds in that time, and
Yep.
that's tough.
Oh yeah, it is. It could be very frustrating for a driver when they can't put a good night together. And I think I see some of that in Dylan. I think he is getting a little frustrated that he just can't seem to get it done. He can't seem to get the monkey off his back and turn the season around.
Yeah, well, sometimes I kind of wonder. I wonder about you know, sometimes these guys you just once you start a little bit farther towards the back of the field, um, things just don't always seem to go your way. I'm trying to look here. Start seventh. Well, then he finished second a week ago, but before that he started 10th, 8th, 4th. So
You're
ninth.
right.
So that
Yep.
class is tough. When you got to start passing guys towards the front of that field, that's a tough class to pass.
Right. Yep. Absolutely.
Um. So Joe Wilcox Performance Automatic Street Stocks. Teddy Morseman. But would this be his third track championship?
Um, I'm really not sure.
Okay. I should ask him about that. But right now he's sitting in the top spot. 15 points back is Dan Gardner. 36 points back in third, Dale Hoteling, currently leading the Rookie of the Year. Fourth is Mick Seeley, 54 points back. And fifth is Mike Williams, 68 points back. Um, you got two Wiley veterans up top and then Dale Hoteling.
Yep.
Actually, you
You're
got
right.
four Wiley veterans in the top five, and then you got Dale Hoteling.
Yep. Yep. That's for sure. And
Um,
and again, I sat there and I was saying how Mick Sealy's had such a rotten year. It's been so tough for him, and look at he's still sitting fourth in the points. So,
mhm,
sometimes it looks worse than it is, I guess.
right. Well, and you got some guys in here that's missed a few weeks too.
Yep.
Um,
Right.
I I kind of wonder what like Mike Spencer and Brian Butler could have done if they put a whole year together.
Right.
Maybe more so Brian Butler. Mike Spencer hasn't really been. I know he ran second there that one week, but the past couple weeks he hasn't had too good of a showing. But
Right.
it happens. Then I'll just, the Warriors, Isabella and Caden Thomas are tied, and Courtney Thomas 29 points back. That's turned into a two-horse race between Bella and Caden Thomas. So at least the sister of Caden Thomas is out of the picture. So at least they can enjoy breakfast a little bit better. But family dinners are still a little different when your cousin comes over. So
That's right. Absolutely. Yep. But again, I'm not even sure you can you count Courtney out at 29 points out? I mean, I,
I guess
but she
probably not, but I would just
right.
say with the fact that we're getting three cars consistently.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yep.
You're
Yep.
probably looking at the other two aren't getting any worse than 24.
Yeah. You're right. Yep. Yep. You're right.
So, and I
It's
don't
gonna be tough.
foresee, I mean, maybe, you never know with Bella, but I don't think Caden Thomas will miss a week. I think he's pretty locked into it. I can't
Right.
imagine Bella will either, but you never know.
Right. Yep.
Wicked T's Quad C, we'll just buzz through these. We touched on them last week and nothing new's changed here. Blake Snyder, 38-point lead over Nate Freeland. Wesley Hoteling in third, 47 points back. Fourth is Danielle Morseman, 103 points back. And fifth is Joe Gillespie, 108 points back. I would say that your fourth, fifth, and sixth is probably that battle to watch currently. Between
Right.
Danielle, Joe, and Kaylee Morseman. She's sitting in sixth.
You're right. Yep.
And fun fact, I just got a message from Wesley Hoteling. He just dropped the car off at the doctor.
That's what I heard today.
Said I'll see you
Yep,
Saturday. So, you
yep.
know,
I
tough
just
break
heard
for
that
him.
today. Yep.
Uh, then we go to the IMCA Modifieds, who only have 1 point show left, and I think it might be the last race of the year, or pretty close to it.
Right. Yep.
Um, Jacob Ingham, he's currently sits 5 points up on Keith Lamphere. Jacob McConnell is third, 7 points back. Fourth is Tyler Belcher, 12 points back. Fifth is Jay McConnell, 15 points back. The IMCA's are weird, man. It's different. You only get 1 point different, you know.
Yep. It
Um,
is. Yep.
the other classes, they're five. You know, you win, you get 30. You're second, you get 25. That gap can close.
Right.
Um, it's tough to get separation when you're
It
only
is.
getting 1 point difference.
Yep.
And if that shows you anything, you can't have one bad night. One bad night,
No.
ruin it. Keith Lamphere has two feature wins. I think he's got three top fives, and he has one miserable week, and he's 5 points back.
Right. Yep.
So it's tough.
It is very, very tough. Yep. Especially on a limited, a limited season,
hmm
limited schedule. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. It's
I
tough.
mean, they're only running five races.
Right.
I
Yep.
mean, they're only running five races, and it's only 1 point separation. I mean, you just
Right.
can't have a bad week,
Nope.
you know? So yeah, so that's your points after this weekend. Like I said, the IMCA's only have one race remaining. Let me see exactly when that is. That's the season finale. No, it's not. Yes, it is. Season finale, September 27th. That's the last
Yep.
modified IMCA's will be there. Um, so I don't know. You never know. That's close. We will be crowning a champion at the end of the year. They'll be invited to the banquet, all that fun stuff. So yeah, I guess that's your points.
Yeah.
Um, I guess we can just quickly touch on some things that we got coming up here. Um, Backpack giveaway this weekend,
Hmm.
August 23rd, backpack giveaway, regular show. Not doing anything fancy this weekend. We're just going to give away a bunch of backpacks and school supplies to some kids. Parents, bring your kids. Go home with a backpack. Don't have to buy as much crayons and crap.
That's right. Help the families out, get a little start on the upcoming school year, and maybe take home some little extra supplies for them to help them out.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Or you know what? Even if your kid doesn't need it, give it to a kid you know that does.
Right.
Always a good. Then on August 30th, we've got the Hall Classics on Dirt. They're going to be back the vintage cars. And this is one thing I want to touch on too. Dave Klein Memorial Dash for cash, $500 to the winner. That's for the four cylinders. Um, that's uh that's big money for a 10 lap race for the four cylinders.
It is absolutely, and
Um,
and I got to tell you, Joe. I received a couple calls today. I've got a couple more people that are interested in putting some money up. I think on that.
oh really?
Um, yeah, and I think that the list of drivers that is coming is getting larger. So it looks like this could turn into something big where we're all done. So
Well, we'll have to see. We'll have to keep you posted on the format of that. I imagine we're going to take a certain amount out of heats. That's just going to be have to how you do it.
yeah,
Would be
right.
my
Yep.
guess, but we'll get
Yep.
we'll figure that out on Saturday, a week from this upcoming Saturday. I do
Yep.
want to go back real quick. Backpack giveaway this weekend. That is sponsored by Country Crossroads and Johnny and June Salon. And next weekend with the Classics on Dirt, Dave Klein Memorial, that's sponsored by S&D Pool Specialists, Big T Processing, and All Bark No Bite Logging and Tree Service.
Joe, let me ask you something. Country Crossroads and Johnny and June's. You know what Johnny and June's is?
Yes.
So I go there, I get my hair cut there, and Chastity always takes care of me, and she's really good at cutting my hair. Just in case you ever need a haircut, yeah, I could send you right over and hook you right up with Chastity. Or maybe we could
What
even do
happened?
something.
I thought I was talking to Terry. I didn't think I was talking to my dad on here. My dad says the same thing.
I was just thinking, what kind of maybe we could do something on the front stretch this week and have Chastity cut your hair on the front stretch for a big promotional thing, draw in people. What do you think?
I think you'd have more luck if she gave me a perm on the front stretch. That would be more the thing I
Well,
might go for.
I'll have to give Chastity a call, see what we can do for you.
Uh, then the following weekend, September 6th, that's our season championship night. Regular night champions will be crowned, except for the IMCA. IMCAs will not be crowned that night. They go until the end of the year. That's sponsored by Superior Propane and McCourt's Auto Collision. Yeah, I got a question for you, Terry. How come
Uh-oh.
earlier in the schedule, McCourt's Auto Collision is McCourt's Automotive Refinishing? Is that I'd have to imagine that's the same company, right?
Yes, it is. He actually had to change his date, and that's why we.
Huh,
So I'm sorry, I had it in front of me, and now I've lost it. Um,
unbelievable. Rookie amateur hour.
you're right. I know it. It's terrible, isn't it? Oh yeah. So let me see here.
Yeah, because he was on the night with the ESS and he wanted to change it, but
Right, right.
because he couldn't
Yep.
make it prior commitments or whatever.
Right. Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, that's September 6th, that's our season championship. I'm just gonna buzz through them, Terry. We only got 3 weeks after that. So September 12th, that is the 305 Sprint Nationals. That's the start of the weekend. That's a Friday. That's the 30 lap Allison Pierce Memorial for the hobby stocks as well. Um, New York 305 Sprint Nationals. That's going to be big. I'm hearing a ton of cars. We're just about ready to get registration up, unless it already is. Terry, you might know a little bit more than me.
Yes, I believe it is up. I believe it went up this afternoon. Yeah, and I would like to touch on that a little bit.
Yep.
So we're going to try to up this game just a little bit here. Okay, so that's Friday night show into Saturday. I've worked really hard with Terry Brewer. Been talking to Terry Brewer. I think I've got him convinced. He's going to bring us up a dump truck of wood, slab wood. We're going to dump it in the parking lot. Okay, we're going to have a bonfire out there on Saturday night. Now, with that being said, we've also been in contact with a couple bands, and we're trying to get some music lined up so that after the races are over, we can have a band out back playing also. So we're going to try to encourage people to bring your campers, camp out there. It could be a fun weekend of sprint car racing. And again, if these sprint cars show up and there's 50 sprint cars, that's going to be some amazing racing right there, for the whole weekend. So, not to
Absolutely.
mention, not to mention, we have the topless late models that night. And
Yep.
again, that means they all have to wear a uniform, but they just don't have the roof on their car. That's what that
Right.
means.
Right.
So they will not be topless,
The
just their car
cars.
will be topless. Yes,
The cars will be topless. Thank God for everybody's eyes if Austin Allen shows up.
that's right. Absolutely. Yep. No, absolutely. So we got that going on. We've got the yeah. What's the hobby stock race called? I'm sorry.
King Bob Dirty 30 Allison Pierce Memorial. Um,
Yes. And I actually started I seen the trophy that's coming for that today, and that actually looks really cool. So we should be able to post some pictures of that here coming up pretty soon. So
yeah,
yeah.
it's gonna be a sweet weekend. Everybody says they want Friday and Saturday night races. They want the back to back. Well, let's try it. We did it last year. We'll do it. We're gonna try it again this year, a little bit earlier in the season this time. So
Yeah, absolutely. And again, this sprint car show on Saturday night is $4,000 to win. That $400 to take the green. That is the largest sprint car payout for CRSAs in the state of New York ever. So this is huge. You're gonna see a bunch of teams coming. I know that there's already some that have committed from like down at Port Royal area. I know there's some from West Virginia. I know there's a couple out of Canada. So these guys are going to be coming in from a long ways out, and they're going to be camping right out in the parking lot too. So, you might have a chance of sitting around the bonfire, listening to the band, and see one of your favorite sprint car drivers there. So who knows?
I've always been told nobody parties like a sprint car driver.
Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I actually I hang out with them guys once in a while. I actually do their awards banquet for them, and I've been up to Verona before when we have the awards banquet, and they do. Them guys, they know how to get it done. And you know what? Everybody in the class are all pretty much best friends with each other, and they're a great bunch of guys. And yeah, they do. They love to party. So
So Terry, on September 12th, does that mean you have a couch open?
absolutely, absolutely.
I Because I don't have a camper. And it's September 12th. I'm not really looking forward to pitching a tent in the middle of
I hear
September.
you. I hear you. You know what? The other thing is, the other option of this is we could go out and kick John Stewart out of his camper.
Oh yeah, there we go.
We
Now we're
just take
talking.
that over. Yep.
Now we're talking. See, but yeah, so the Saturday night, the 305 Sprint Nationals, like you said, 4,000 to win for them. They're going to be joined by the Crate Sportsman. The Hobby Stocks are doing double duty again, and we're going to have the Powder Puff Hobby Stock too. That's something that went over well. People liked it. That'll be at the end of the night. We're going to throw the women in there. Let them give it a shot. It's a lot of fun to watch. People that don't really ever get to watch, they come every week and support their husbands. So you know what? I think that everybody should stay and support them too.
Oh, absolutely, they should. It's a fun race to watch,
Mhm.
and when you watch the husbands standing up on pit road, watching their wives and praying that they don't demolish their car, it's, but yeah, no, it is always fun. It was a great time last time we had it. It was a great race, and yeah, I look forward to it again.
Yep. So I know who are sponsoring the Friday night. You got a
So it's going to be CarQuest,
West.
MSP out of Elkland,
Yep. Okay, that's who it
and
is.
on Saturday night is going to be Lowry Family Farms. Also, Dandy Mini Marts on Saturday night, I believe,
Yep.
as a sponsor. And I know I've talked to Lowry's a little bit, and they are on the fence right now. They are trying to put something cool together for the Friday night show. So who knows? When we have the bonfire out back, they might be selling hot dogs out there. Who knows?
Right.
So we look forward to finishing up the deal. And again, I want to, I worked kind of hard on this to start with this race, and I want to thank Terry and Nikki Brewer for stepping up on this. And it was not an easy task for me to convince them to spend the money that they needed to spend to bring these sprint cars in here in this race. And they did. They haven't hesitated a bit. They've been on board 100% since the beginning, and let's just hope it's a great show. I don't see why it won't be. Let's just hope for some good weather, I guess.
Right. So then we go to September 20th. That full fender night, Woodhull 100, Crate Late Model, Street Stocks, Hobby Stocks, Quad C. That's sponsored, of course. Who else? Joe Wilcox Performance Automatics. Um, this Street
Yes, sir.
Stock 100, that's paying 250 to start, 900 for fifth, and what is it, 2,000 to win, 1,500 for second.
Yep.
Um, that's some big
Yeah,
money.
absolutely. And if anybody that knows Joe Wilcox knows the passion that he has for the street stock class, and a couple years ago, Joe Wilcox came to me and told me that he was moving away, and he asked me. He said, "I don't want to just turn the street stock class over to anybody." He says, "So I'm kind of was thinking about you and was wondering if you would do it." So of course I said yes, I would do it. So I took over the street stock class there for a couple of years. Well, things didn't work out for Joe. They ended up not moving, like retiring and moving like they had planned, and they decided to stick around. So at the time, it was only fitting to let Joe have it back, and because he's got so much passion for it. And I'll tell you what, he has worked his butt off on this race, him and Gene both. He's put together one heck of a race, and I'll tell you, you do not want to miss this street stock race. That's for sure.
Yeah, and that's, that money is just the money that he's raised for that. John Stewart, he's collecting lap money, contingency money. They got a whole bunch of stuff going. If you own a street stock, you want to be here on that night. That'll be the best race. You won't find a better paying race in the country, I would say.
That's right.
Um,
Yeah, absolutely. Not on the East Coast. I don't think you're going to find anything or nothing around here that's going to pay like this race is going to pay for these street stock guys. So,
right.
and I know it's built over the last couple of years at Woodhull. Um, I know last year we had a huge turnout for it, and I don't see why we won't this year. It's again, these guys love this money. They don't get a shot at it every day. So,
Absolutely. So then September 27th, season finale. That's it. That's all we got left, Terry.
yep, that's right.
2,500 to win Crate Sportsman. IMCA will finish off their point season, 600cc modifieds, and 600 to win Quad C. Um, that's yeah, that's all we got. That'll be hard to be. Oh, and of course that will be sponsored by our big old friend there, Joe Trappler of JT Logging and CS Tree Service and Landscaping as well.
Right, right. And again, if anybody remembers this show from last year, the week leading up to it, all of a sudden these great sportsman guys started jumping on board and throwing money at us. And I believe, what was it last year? Wasn't it 4,000 to win? I believe.
Yep.
It, I wouldn't be surprised if we see that happen again this year. So I
Right.
know I've talked to a couple people that are a couple sponsors that were interested. So we'll see what happens with that. See if we can work something out, finalize some stuff, and make that a big show too. So
Absolutely. Yeah, it's hard to believe we only got what do we got? One, two, three, four, five, six,
seven.
six weekends left. Seven shows, 6 weekends.
Yep,
All
absolutely.
right. And then we'll be talking about the banquet. And then I'll be sitting in the Southern Tier Customs office, you know.
Uh
I'll get
oh.
bored. I'll just have to call you and come chat with you because I won't be able to talk to you every week.
And there you go. Well, we'll start up our meetings again. We'll have meetings every week, so you can come for that. So, yeah, yep.
Um, well, Terry, unless you got something else, we did the points, we did the schedule coming up. Is there anything else you
I
got?
don't think so. I think we're good to go. I think it was, like I said, it was a great weekend. There was some good racing there, and let's hope next week's just as good.
I couldn't agree more. Once again, Terry, thank you very much. I want to thank Bradley Supply. They were the night's presenting sponsor. Please like and subscribe on the YouTube page, Apple Podcast, Spotify. Follow us on Facebook at Woodhall Raceway. That's where you're going to get all your information. That's where everything's going to be. Rainouts. That's the first thing I do. As soon as I get the message about anything to do with the track, that's where I put it. So that's where you can get all your information. And then Woodhall Raceway 64 on TikTok. Well, Terry, until next week, I hope you have a good week, and I'll see you on Saturday.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Joe, and you have a great week.
You got it.